Today I would like to talk about a little tool that I just received off the UPS today. It's the Hornady Concentricity gauge. It checks for run out and will also help to fix the run out of the particular round. Now, this gauge checks loaded rounds. You cannot put just an empty case in it to check your case. Basically what this does for checking run out, you place your loaded round in and you place the gauge right on the bullet just above the neck of the case. Run out is where the bullet isn't completely straight inside the case. It's kind of cantered either to the left or to the right a little bit. And what this gauge will allow you to do is once you find where at on that bullet it's cantered, you can adjust this knob to knock that bullet into place. So to set it up, it comes completely like you see now. You've got your tailstock installed. This is where the head of the case will go. Your bullet tip enters this section up here. Your gauge installs right here. The gauge comes in a completely different box. And the way it works is your bullet is on this part right here. And as you spin the bullet, it will raise and lower the needle to let you know where your run out's at. Now typically, from my understanding, as I am very new to run out, I've not even thought about run out until these past couple of months. Generally speaking, anywhere between 2 and 3 thousandths of a run out, they say that it's still good and still accurate. You try to minimize that as much as possible, but if that's what you're getting, then you're doing pretty good. And they say anywhere between 4 thousandths plus is not, and you want to try to fix that if possible. Some of your concentricity gauges like RCBS and so forth, you can turn the neck of the brass on it and it'll show you if the brass is the cause of your run out. But if you spin your brass and you're getting no run out or very little on the brass, then you can start looking at, okay, maybe it's my dies. And then you can start playing with your dies and getting it set up and put it back. And that way you try to fix the run out problem where it's at. Whereas this, you're fixing the round of ammunition. You may still get run out, but you can put your round on here, look at it, and fix the run out. Of course, if you see you're getting run out, then you can play with your dies and check them to see if you got a little bit of run out problem there. So to install this portion, one other thing, up top here you see these little O-rings. These are made to where you can slide them down so that you can adjust your indicator rod there. But basically, I'm going to slide this on up. To install this, you just simply slide this into there. And what I do is I back it out to where it's just even and tighten it down. Now your gauge is all set up and ready to go. Let me reset the angle of the camera, and I brought a box of factory ammo, because that's the other good thing about this. You can check the run out of your hand loads and correct them. If you're still buying factory ammo, you can test the factory ammo for run out and correct the factory ammo too. So you don't even have to be a hand loader to own this. If you're, strictly factory, you can still fix your factory ammo. Okay. Today I want to check. I got some Remington Express core locks. These are factory. And I'm only doing these just for the video. I plan on running an extensive review on this. I'm going to do a lot of different testings with some different dies and things like that. But setting it up for your first time, on your tailstock, you unloosen the spindle, which allows you to slide this back and forth. You just simply insert the base of it, slide it forward, until it enters the front. You want the tip of the bullet to enter the front. Now, what you're going to want to do is, they say, push it until this goes out about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to slide this stock ahead of the bullet here. I'm going to push it to about right there, and then I'm going to lock down the back end. Now, right here is where I'm going to set the tailstock. Well, actually, the dial indicator. I'll put it just in front of the crimp groove, right on the bullet. Okay. I'm going to back this off, and this is what fixes the run out. So you should be able to spin it freely. So now, let me slide this down. Look at the gauge here. You spin this to check for run out. So now I'm going to set this to 0. You don't have to, but I like to, from what I got to play with this today already. So this factory bullet looks like it's just a little bit over 2 thousandths of run out. Now, spin it till it gets back to 0. That's your lowest end. That end is against the indicator. The higher end is against the adjusting knob, which is right here. Let me see if I can't get a little bit closer. Okay. So you spin that against the bullet. Now, all I'm doing is, we'll show the indicator up here. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, I'm going to tighten that up, and we're only going to go to just below 10 thousandths with that. Then I'm going to back it off. Okay. So now, get that back to its lowest right there. Okay. Now, I want to spin that factory round. We was at 2 thousandths, and let's see how much I corrected it. And all I'm doing is just spinning the round like that. And as you can see, we're at just below a thousandths of run out. So I was able to take this from 2 thousandths to just below a thousandths. Not too shabby, especially for hunting. So for right now, this is just the overview, the teaser to what I've got coming up. I'm going to be testing the Hornady new dimension dies that has the collar that is supposed to prevent run out. I'm going to test the RCBS dies, all for $270. I'm going to load 5 rounds on the Hornady and 5 rounds on the RCBS. I'm going to put them on this concentricity gauge and see which die actually does better than the other. If possible, I'm going to run a test on a few different presses. So let's say the Hornady dies is better than the RCBS, then I'll run a test with the Hornady dies, or actually with the RCBS dies, on the other presses to see if it works better on those presses and vice versa. And then I plan on doing having some rounds not corrected with some rounds that are corrected, and doing some range tests. So this is going to be a lengthy series, a multi-parter. So, once again, we went from 2 thousandths, as you can tell, just below 1 thousandths. And I'm not doing anything but turning the round. So, there it is, guys. It works, and it works great.